I'm Bree.
And I'm Jamie. Tell us about that one time.
Hey, Jamie.
Hello, Bree. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Our voicemail's getting full again. We have been neglecting it, ma'am.
Yes, I know. Let's get into it.
All right. Let me go ahead and do this. In the meantime, what have you been up to while I'm getting this started?
Oh, just having a blast, taking a trip around the solar system,
Ooh,
you
slowly or
know,
fast?
very fast,
Oh my gosh.
not slow.
All
I
right, you're
have my own spaceship. It's going great.
Oh, really? Did you get to drive
It's
it
called
for
mental
10 minutes?
illness. I'm just
Ah,
kidding.
I like that. That's a vibe. All right, you ready for this one?
Yes.
Okay.
So this one time, I was going to school in Arizona, and I went to a house party in the outskirts of town, middle of nowhere, just some little suburb. And I'm with my girlfriend at the time. It's like 3 in the morning. We're on the porch, and I see what looks like headlights coming in the sky, right? And it's kind of weird. Most planes don't look like they have headlights, but as it came closer, I could see it was triangle shaped, and it was pretty big. Um, to my memory, it kind of looked like when you see an airplane landing. So it was about the size of an airplane. Um, all black, from what I could tell. It was night, but it just had those two headlights and no other lights, no other sound, nothing afterwards, and it was real low. And that's what I remember.
All right, so that's a little interesting.
Super vague.
Very. Ooh, is something still playing? Oh, there we go. Okay. So it sounds super interesting. The one thing that hits me the most when he was talking about like how low it was, like it was almost like a plane landing, that's like super reminiscent of like when I saw my UFO in Oakland. Like what made me like catch attention to it was the fact that it was so low. I was like, why is this like flying so low? So that's super interesting on that part. What do you think?
You know, it's weird for me when it comes to triangles, just because I know that we also have craft in the shape of a
Mm-hmm.
triangle.
It's the TB
TR3B.
TR3B.
Uh
And it has that the TR3B has that very dark, like a lot of people, it's like this dark pitch black like triangle. So when you start to say that, it's like, oh, starting to sound very similar to that.
I think of something that Mike Barr said, which was when he was back in aerospace engineering, that they used to say if it looks like a Dorito, then it's ours. So but at the same time, I know in the past there's, we can talk about like the Belgium wave. I mean, there were triangle shaped UFOs. It's just a matter
Mm-hmm.
of, is this something that's ours or not?
Exactly. All right. And do you think the sound of it with the headlights and flying low to you, is that sounding more something terrestrial than extraterrestrial?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's really much sound. Actually, I'm not sure
And it
about.
was in Arizona. Hmm?
Well,
Interesting.
Arizona is quite the place to see some UFOs for sure.
Well, the person who called didn't leave a name or anything, so we're gonna have to tell them to call back and give us more information. But that sounds super.
Well, he ended it with just, and that's what I remember. So, like, well, what happened next?
Like, did it
Was it,
disappear?
or is it like he blacked out and that's all he remembers?
Like
It's
he
like,
wakes up in
what's
bed.
the rest of the story?
Ooh, I like
Did it
that.
just go by him? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting one. All right, well, that was a short voicemail this week. Should we do one more?
Definitely.
Okay, hold on. Let me find something for you, ma'am. What do you got going on this week? Any big plans?
Not this weekend.
No, why not?
Um, I've just been doing so much that I kind of feel like I
Mm,
don't want to do anything.
yeah.
Um, but I'll probably get to do some painting.
Oh, you know what? I have a few interesting ones I can play for you. So some very short ones. We'll just a few rapid fire here. All right. You tell me, this one's interesting.
The one time I got the alien freaker.
got me on TikTok, and I've seen you guys on TikTok, so load up a video with this voicemail. I think it'd be very hilarious. Thank you, and goodbye.
That one was a good one. I liked that. That was yeah.
That was cute.
Uh,
That's nice. They found us on TikTok.
they found us on TikTok. All right, what about?
Very cool.
Let me see this one. This one's
I'm Bree.
And I'm Jamie. Tell us about that one time.
beep.
Man, where do I even start with this one?
We know him.
I don't
He almost
remember
sounds
being
like the same
taken.
person.
I want to get that out of the way at the very beginning.
You know him?
No, I
memories
mean,
of
we've
being
heard
taken, no
another
memories of any being,
voicemail
no
from
memories
him.
of being on any craft.
Oh, he's the creepy
What
guy.
I do have is a bunch of weird shit. Like, my first memory ever is of watching a spotlight sweep the beach in the middle of the night. I was like 3.
What a weird memory to have at
Alone.
3.
Memory cuts out after that.
Did he say he was all
After
alone?
that, I
Yeah.
had a negligent mother. I got left alone at a movie theater when I was like 5.
Who's abandoning
Late night
him all the
film,
time?
Movie ended. I go out to the parking lot and I look up into the sky and I see these 3 red orbs. I hear a voice in my head that says, "You don't have to be scared. You never have to be scared. You're never alone." I felt better and my mom eventually showed up. I saw him again in my bedroom window once. I don't remember if they said anything though. And then there's the shadow people. I'd see them all the time when I was a kid. I'd look for them. I'd hunt for them. And when I'd find them, I'd confront them and make them disappear. Apparently just focusing on them makes them leave. And, that's early childhood. I was always obsessed with aliens, so I don't know what the deal with that is. My mom used to tell me that when I was born, she heard God tell her I wasn't from here and that I needed extra patience.
Whoa.
Take that for what it's worth, but the interesting stuff happened when I was a teenager. Now, before you start writing me off as a psychotic or a schizophrenic, let me
Never.
say that I've talked to a lot of doctors about this, and I'm very skeptical about it. Like, I really think it could have been stress-related, but, I had what can only be described as telepathic communication. Something that referred to itself as Azrael. Now I looked up that name as a kid. The Archangel of Death. And he told me that I was important to the future. That I was born into a tumultuous time of great change and cataclysm. That humanity would survive, but would be relatively decimated. And that it is by design. That our world leaders are planning a mass extinction event. I talked to him for 4 or 5 years until contact kind of ceased.
That was the end of the voicemail. I like how it was like contact ceased and then so did the voicemail.
Seriously, it just ended.
I want to talk to this person so much more. I feel like so
I
much
was
more
gonna
is
say,
happening.
who is this? What's their name?
I don't
Where
know
are they?
I know that we've listened to the voicemail before, but the voice in general sounds so familiar to me now that we listen to it too. It's so weird. I feel like
he's left other voicemails.
No, I'm saying outside of voicemails too. There's something about the cadence of the voice that just sounds so familiar to me.
Oh, for some reason, something about it reminds me of Jeremy Corbell. And I think that I said that when we first listened to him.
When you first listened to it, maybe that's what it is.
Sounds like if Jeremy Corbell was like whispering and trying to like tell a secret.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I was like, God, that sounds like I know that freaking voice.
But the stories, like, that's really intense.
There's like a lot going on. Like, this is a person who we want to come onto the show and like, let me pick at your brain and like start taking out all these layers.
Seriously. I mean, those are some early, really serious memories.
Yeah. And again, this is another one with no name, no nothing. So whoever you are, if you know that we listen to this,
come forward.
Hit us back up.
Forward.
Hit us back up.
That was probably one of the best voicemails, I think, as far as
yeah, I agree. That was a really good one.
Content that their story that they're sharing, that was really loaded in a short amount of time.
Yeah, no, so I'm saying we need a part 2, part 3, part 4. Call back. If you don't want to come on the show, leave another voicemail. We need to hear these more juicy details, please. We
I
have
love
questions.
the orb thing, the red or the orange orbs that he saw, them telling him that he doesn't have to be afraid and that he's not alone. I really love that.
Yeah, I love that. But then I mean, it's so interesting that his very first memory is of this like sweeping spotlight across the beach while he's like alone out there. Like, what an interesting memory, first time memory to hold on to. So there has to be some more significance to that maybe he just doesn't remember all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, why is everyone always leaving him alone?
I mean, that's very interesting, isn't it?
It's crazy.
I mean, and then you asked him, and he was like, I did have a negligent mother.
I know.
So at least he answered your question right away. He was like, oh, I
He
got you.
knew.
Hold on. Backstory.
He knew.
Yeah, he was like, let me backstory. Exactly. All right, Brie, I think that's all we got for voicemails this week. We'll come back next week maybe with some more.
Sounds good.
All right. We love you guys. Goodbye.
Love you all. Bye bye.